Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, the blowback has already started. I already mentioned in a previous video how Donald Trump, in the span of I think less than 10 hours, managed to pull together nearly $35 million in small donor fundraising right after the verdict was released. You know, as if that wasn't already enough of a massive victory following this horrifying verdict. We're seeing immediate results, immediate backfire. It's not just on the fundraising front. Less than 24 hours after the verdict was made public, polls are already showing Donald Trump's approval rating up by +6, and Joe Manchin just left the Democrat Party the morning after the verdict. Get ready for a possible political awakening moment. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so here's the first story. Breaking: Senator Joe Manchin leaves Democrat Party, registering as an independent. He released this tweet on the morning of May 31st, 2024. "My commitment to do everything I can to bring our country together has led me to register as an independent, with no party affiliation." In a statement in response, Manchin said, "From my first day in public service in 1982, I have always focused on doing what's best for my state and my country, without regard to party or politics. Throughout my days in elected office, I have always been proud of my commitment to common sense, bipartisanship, and my desire to bring people together. It's who I am, it's who I always will be. I have never seen America through a partisan lens. However, since becoming a United States Senator in 2010, I've seen both the Democrat and Republican parties leave West Virginia and our country behind for partisan extremism, while jeopardizing our democracy. Today, our national politics are broken. Neither party is willing to compromise to find common ground. To stay true to myself and remain committed to put our country before party, I have decided to register as an independent with no party affiliation and continue to fight for America's sensible majority." Now, he didn't say it outright, but he's literally talking about partisan extremism and jeopardizing democracy as he's leaving the Democrat Party. So it's not the typical left-wing shtick about preserving democracy from the evil right-wing fascist alt-right mob. No, it seems as though he's referencing party extremism on both sides and a threat to democracy, and then decides to resign on the morning after the Trump verdict. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's a shocking escalation, and obviously it's having a big impact. And in this case, that impact may be Joe Manchin deciding to leave the Democrat Party. I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't want my brand or political legacy anywhere near what the Democrats are doing. But anyways, going back to the word impact, the Trump verdict has certainly been impactful. I mean, this headline might be the headline of the day. Donald Trump gets a 6-point bump in approval after being found guilty on 34 counts, according to Snap Daily Mail poll. Quote, "I think it was a waste of taxpayer money. Teflon Don rides again," according to an exclusive Snap poll for the Daily Mail, which found that the guilty verdict in Manhattan only improved the former president's standing with likely voters ahead of the 2024 election. Of those who said the 34 guilty counts had changed their view of Donald Trump, 22% said that they now had a more favorable rating, compared with 16% who said they viewed him now more negatively. That 6-point net positive result is another sign of the way the businessman turned politician seems to ride out crises that would sink anyone else. In a tight election, it could be enough to get him across the finish line. Quote, "I think it was a waste of taxpayer money and will help propel Trump to victory," said a 42-year-old hip-hop DJ from Illinois who voted for Joe Biden in 2020. +6 overnight, with significantly more respondents replying that the Trump verdict paints Donald Trump more favorably to them than negatively. You know, there's a reason we keep seeing more and more Hollywood celebrities, the people who it's in their obvious best interest to either remain apolitical or just join the anti-Trump Hollywood bandwagon. We're seeing more and more of those people coming out publicly and saying stuff like this.
What do you think of Trump?
I think I'm going to vote for him.
Really?
Yeah, in the next election. Yes, I am.
Are you ready for the blowback?
Well, yeah.
If inevitably comes
well,
with Trump?
you know, I think in this election, everybody's got to, I think they're going to take a side or whatever, but it just seems to me, it just makes sense. I was ready not to vote for Trump until what I saw is more than politics. I see a weaponization of our justice system.
Yeah.
And a challenge to our Constitution, us as Americans, that I don't think we're going to have. And, you know, Trump is the most investigated person probably in the history of the world. And they haven't been able to really get him. People might call him an asshole, but he's my asshole.
People see the lawfare for what it is, and they're speaking out about it. I could pretty much guarantee you that a Joe Rogan video slamming the Democrats as corrupt fascists is pretty much coming right down the pike here. I know Elon Musk already issued a statement. Here's a post he made on X. Indeed, great damage was done today to the public's faith in the American legal system. If a former president can be criminally convicted over such a trivial matter, motivated by politics rather than justice, then anyone is at risk of a similar fate. He's totally right, and so many people see it. And that message is spreading. You know, there's some people arguing to the contrary. Legal and economic expert Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is already chiming in with her genius take.
Important to note that despite the initial statements trying to politicize this verdict, saying that it was somehow partisan or Democrats or what have you, Donald Trump was convicted by a jury of his peers. His peers that were people here in New York.
Well, there it is from the sassy Democrat herself. Listen, okay?
All right, listen, okay, listen.
How could it be a political verdict brought by Democrats if it's a jury of his peers who found him guilty? Yeah, a jury of his peers in Manhattan of all places, place that votes 90% for Democrats. How could you ever question that as political? His peers, by the way, the same peers who voted Alvin Bragg into office, the guy who basically said since day one he was gonna get Trump, and the moment the verdict dropped, he said, quote, "I did my job." Yeah, the people who voted that guy, yeah, we could trust them to be totally impartial. Give me a break. They're trying so hard to cast this thing as legitimate. Going back to the Elon Musk tweet, people are taking issue with one part of his tweet where he said that the former president can be criminally convicted over such a trivial matter. They're claiming it's not trivial, that's why it's a felony. Well, again, they're lying and nobody buys it. They can't even define the crime. What is Donald Trump even being charged with? Oh, well, you know, the crime is hush money payment. No, hush money payments are not illegal. Oh, well, the crime was falsifying business records. Falsifying business records is a misdemeanor. It's a campaign finance violation. The FEC literally said it wasn't, or at least decided not to pursue the charges. Not to mention the statute of limitations on everything. Where's the crime? It's some sort of twisted contortionist legal theory where he's guilty of falsifying a business record, and that's now bumped up from a misdemeanor rather than a felony because he was somehow willfully and knowingly at the time violating campaign's finance laws in that whole process, even though he was just following what his lawyer was telling him. Oh, and by the way, the judge instructed the jury that they don't even have to unanimously agree on which crime Donald Trump's guilty of. None of it actually makes sense, and none of it is truly serious, so yes, certainly a trivial matter, that's to say the least. What people are saying is that Alvin Bragg simply found a way to turn a misdemeanor into a felony. The whole intention was to stop Trump at any and all cost, but I don't think it's going to work the way they think it's going to work. You know, as per usual, the Democrats are peacocking, acting cocky. They're trying to, speak their preferred outcome into existence in a way. Oh, we got him this time. Nobody's going to vote for a felon. It's game over. Trump is finished. Of course, they're going to pump their chest out and lift up their chin, declare victory. But the reality is, this was worst case scenario. Just last month, Bill Maher was cursing the fact that they're stuck with this garbage Stormy Daniels case.
Can you believe that this is it seems like it's going to be the only trial that will go before the election?
Well, I've been moaning and railing about that on my show because I tore Merrick Garland a new one a couple of weeks ago because I think the Democrats blew it, as they always do with this kind of stuff, because they've had 4 years. What was all the delay about? Why are we coming to the end? Of course they're going to try to run out the clock. And they did.
Throughout the entire thing, we've seen even left-wing legal anchors and legal experts telling us it's not a slam dunk case, the case is weak, there's all these holes in it. The whole world saw that Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen both lied on the stand. They were dreading the idea that this was their big trump card, their big play, because the polling has always indicated that it's their worst option, that it could very well likely backfire and end up causing people to be more sympathetic with Trump. Well, that's exactly what's happening. Don't let their false confidence facade fool you, because deep down inside they know, trust me they know, Trump's about to raise $100 million likely in the next couple weeks, Democrat senators are ditching the party, Trump has an instantly noticeable boost in the polls, and some of the most influential people of our time are taking a stance and starting to influence people. Yeah, not exactly the blue wave victory that I think they're pretending it is, but of course we'll have to continue to examine the fallout. That's what I got for you guys on this one. If you enjoyed the video, then of course leave a like, and if you want to keep following my coverage of the story, then of course subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.